Isaac, it's time for the KickCast. What are you doing? Come on. All right, guys. In this episode, we talk about putting pies and arcades together, how to go with the NFC Flo, a speaker that uses some kind of crazy physics to get its sound, and we want to help out sweet Lydia. So sit back and relax. It's time for the KickCast. Hey everybody, it is episode 2 of the KickCast. And joining me as always is my one and only co-host Isaac. How are you doing tonight?
Good.
Yes.
I'm off work.
Yo. I'm always off work.
That's
I enjoy everything I do in my life. But for all you guys
Life
who are
is
just
work.
joining us
Work will
for
set you
our
free.
for our second episode, but it might be your first episode showing up here. This is a KickCast, and we are a podcast that looks through all these crowdfunding projects. The idea of crowdfunding, of course, is somebody has an idea and they say, "Hey, I need X amount of dollars to get this project done. Would you guys help, chip in a couple bucks or two?" And if they make enough money, they can make the project reality. And a lot of these sites, it's all or nothing. Sometimes there's a little bit modified that you can do, but, many people, they like to back them because they get rewards. But we like to promote projects that, we really want to see or really good ideas or the bizarre, all around everything. So, first off, let's kick off with Kickstarter, which is probably the most famous of the websites. They are finally now in the UK.
It's going big.
All projects, they're listed in pounds sterling,
Across
of
the
course.
pond.
The official currency of the UK.
It's the sterling
Yeah.
pound?
Yeah, pound sterling.
Pound sterling.
Pound sterling. It has that little weird number
Mhm.
design thing. It uses the same mechanics as in the US. So you set a goal, and if you don't reach it, you don't get anything. Only difference is they don't use Amazon as the payment service, and they have slightly different fees on there. It's not that much different from there, but
Yeah.
Kickstarter has been under scrutiny ever since they launched about not having enough international reach. Because before you had to be in the U.S. or you had to know somebody in the U.S. that had an Amazon account. And I think this is what actually drawing them or making it for them harder to expand into the European and the international markets is because they need to
Those
go find
payment methods.
Yeah, they need to find a credit processor. As far as I know, I think Amazon only does the U.S. and they have a localization in all the different countries. So that's what there is. So speaking of UK projects, let's go into our first project right here, which is the Piecade.
The Piecade.
Yes, and it is actually a arcade enclosure for a Raspberry Pi. If you guys don't know what a Raspberry Pi is, it's a credit card sized computer, and it costs $25 or $35 depending on which model you want to get. So what's cool about this is this kit includes everything that you need to make to assemble a Piecade, minus the Raspberry Pi. So it comes with the cabinets and the fasteners. It comes with an LCD panel and driver board. There's either an 8-inch model or a 12-inch model. Comes with amplifiers and speakers, headphone sockets. The panel is panel-mounted video input socket, so it's a VGA port that you can plug your computer into and use it as a secondary display. And it comes with arcade-quality sticks and illuminated buttons. And let's be honest, we all like flashing buttons. Well, I do at least.
Everyone loves buttons.
So once you get it, all you got to do is put it together, put it in your own Raspberry Pi, and you're good to go. There's 2 models available, like I mentioned. There's the mini model, which is 800 pixels wide and uses an 8-inch screen and comes with 4 buttons. And then you have the full model, which is 1024 pixels wide, comes with a 12-inch screen and comes with 6 buttons right there. Both of them include the amp and the speaker and the rear port, so you can use that right there. So what do you think about this project, Isaac?
Yeah, I like it. There's been things that have done like it before. I mean, it's not totally brand new.
Well, yeah, of course,
I mean,
you
it's
can
similar,
kind
as you can see.
see in the background right here. This is the iCade, so Piecade without the
Made for the iPad.
which was made by Ion.
But I like how
I
you can
think
use it as a display.
Yeah.
I mean, it has some versatility to it. I like how they have different sizes. They're passionate about it. If you watch their Kickstarter video, I mean, they definitely
Yes.
really want this project
And
to
what's nice is
come out.
that see for this, you need you need an iPad for it to work on here. So here's the prices for it. To
Yeah,
get
let's go over those.
Piecade for if you're an early adopter, you can get for the $32 one, which is or 32 pounds is 5120. Here it gives you just the electronics, so you don't get any of the enclosures or anything, and you can build it yourself for $179 ish. This is it varies depending on the exchange rate.
The market.
Yes, but it comes out to be $179, which comes with a mini, and so that's the 8-inch model right there with the 4 buttons, and then for the full version, I think it's $281 if I remember right. Or is it 307? It's 281 or 307.
It's 281.
This is one thing I kind of don't like about Kickstarter when they're doing the international is they don't show you the exchange rate until you're about to pledge on there. So that's why we can't show
that'd be
you
cool
the
if that was built
prices
in.
on there. I kind of wish they would give us a little bit more fully robust system like that. But hey, they just barely launched, so they got some bugs. What's nice about this group is this is not their first project that they put on Kickstarter. This is actually their second one. Their first one was actually an enclosure for the Raspberry Pi. So that did very, very well. So I think it's gonna be they know what they're doing, so you're not gonna run into some of these delays that you get with a lot of the bigger projects on there. And what's nice is even though it's specifically made for the Raspberry Pi, if they can reach the stretch goal, they'll be doing this for so you can put in a full computer on there, which will be nice.
That's cool. I like that.
So, Isaac, of course, here on the KickCast, we have our rating system, back, track, or sack. What's your choice today?
Oh, for the Piecade, I will track it just because I think it's interesting. I don't really I play video games. I don't really need a Piecade. I think it's really cool. I don't know I just don't think I'd use it. It'd probably sit there for me. So I'll just look at it and see how it does. But I think it's a cool idea. I like the project. I like how much work they've put into it. Yeah. What do you?
For me, I'm definitely back
Mm-hmm.
on there. To put it into perspective, this iCade right here is about $80 to $100, and then you need an iPad on top of it. So that's another $400 already right there. For this, you just need a $35 computer that you don't necessarily just have to use for this, and it gives you the functionality of using it as a second display and everything. And if you're I think if you're really big into arcade machines and whatnot, this is definitely something that
that's something
into.
for arcade lovers. That's a good point.
So
you played a lot of arcade games then?
Oh yeah, lots of quarters in the day. So that is the Piecade right there, and then talking about doing a lot of things that I don't think a lot of kids did. Let's go into our next project.
Yeah,
which
so
is the Flo Jack.
The Flo Jack. So you guys probably are familiar with near field communication. So basically, the whole idea behind this project is to bring this technology to the Apple products. Currently, there's only a few Android phones that have this. You guys have seen those commercials where they'll bump their phones together and it will transfer their contacts or pictures or things like that.
Can I say that still looks stupid? I'm just to say that
no
matter how it looks stupid.
I don't care what device. Our iPads.
I don't care what device it is. It just looks stupid. Isn't this what like Bluetooth or email is used for?
Yeah. So this is kind of interesting. I kind of like the idea that they're trying to approach. Let me go over just a few of the exact specs that they have. But so the Flo Jack, it uses the 3-pin connector, goes into your headphone jack in your iPhone, iPad, or iTouch. And it's going to be compatible up to iPhone 5, up to the newest iPad, and also the newest iTouch. So, I mean, it's kind of bulky looking at the design. Let's see if we can get a size picture.
So, if you guys have actually seen the Square card reader, it looks very similar to that.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Anyways, there's the near field communication can trigger different apps like in your phone. It can trigger like a contact, or it can trigger like an app. You can even do pay with it and things like that. So I like the idea of them trying to bring the Android and the Apple community together with this technology, but I don't like how bulky it is. It's interesting to note, though, that one of the explanations that why Apple didn't include this in their products is they can't integrate it around their battery with their aluminum cases. But also, Apple usually doesn't tend to adopt stuff until it's more mainstream or they think it's actually useful. So I think that's probably why they've avoided using it in their products up to this date.
Well, so I'll let you know. For first thing, I am not a fan of NFC. That
Yeah.
is something I have never been a fan of ever since it was introduced. It's so on a technological level, it's more secure than RFID. So those prox cards that you guys probably use to
Sure. I mean, you
get
have to
into
get
rooms and
really
everything.
close to them.
You
Yeah.
literally have to touch it.
Yeah.
But I don't really see this because right now in the U.S., no one has really adopted it as a payment system or as an entry system or anything like that. It's I know in Korea and stuff they use more NFC technologies, but here you don't. And there's only a handful of phones on Android side that actually has NFC technology.
good point.
There. To me, I actually like geolocation a little bit or geofencing a little bit better, where you just have to be in that area, and as long as the phone is running the app or something, it can notify you. And I don't know. The idea of touching something to it doesn't seem to be my favorite thing on there. And I also think that NFC has its utilities, but I just don't think using it this for say pairing a Bluetooth headphone or so is okay. But in this case, where you have to put a dongle in and a fairly large dongle onto the device, I don't see the benefit of it because there's not enough technology out there that actually uses NFC tags. And by the time NFC tags become ubiquitous, I can see
Something
Apple,
else moving in.
Apple
Yeah.
already building it in, or something more elegant, like a case or something that just doesn't stick out like that. Because I'm not going to leave that in my pocket at all for that. So yeah. Do you have anything else to say about that before we
That's a good point.
pass judgment on it?
No. No, it's funny that they said so they had it in a Tupperware first and they reduced it in size by 2,000% or whatever, but it's still, like you said, really bulky and it's kind of big and it has this dongle and it's just, I don't and I admire them for trying to bring something to the market and try to bring some synergy between products, but like you mentioned, it's going to become outdated and it really needs to become on board. It needs to come with the phone and they need to wait for the marketplace to do that. So I'm going to have to sack this project.
I'm gonna sack it. Like I've told you, I'm not a fan of NFC technologies at all. And sorry, guys. Like I can see you guys trying, but to me, I don't see NFC taking off that much.
Yeah.
So, speaking about brand new technologies that we haven't seen before, how about imagining plugging in so one thing that we do, all of us have some kind of phones, or some kind of device that plays music, and if we want to hear, and the speakers in those devices, no matter how good you think, no matter what you have, it's physics. It's not going to sound that great. And then when you want to plug it into bigger things, you have to worry about, will this fit in this dock, or where's the cable for this?
Yeah, I don't have a 3.5 millimeter cable. I don't have this.
So here we are introducing the Freak Vibe, and it's a music docking station for iPhone, Android, or pretty much any MP3 player that has a speaker in it. It doesn't require any kind of connection for the device to work.
How is that
All
possible?
you have to do is place the device while it's playing through the speakers on top of the Freak Vibe, and it will play the audio out through the speaker. It uses the idea of electromagnetic near-field interaction, not to be confused with NFC that we just barely talked about. This is a totally different concept. Unfortunately, they just have names similar. And they have an exclusive system that they developed called Synkless that has the audio reproduced. And according to them, it produces fairly well audio quality on there. I can't judge that. It's one of those things that you have to be in the room to hear, because obviously there's factors in how good the microphone was capturing the audio device and stuff. So, if I could give you a better idea on how it sounds if I actually have heard it, but it's they're going right way. They have 2 stereo speakers which run 3 watts, and then another 3-watt mini subwoofer on there. Also included is a interchange. They've remodeled the design to include a interchangeable charging connector, so you can have your 30 pin on there, your Lightning, your or a micro mini USB on there. And for those cases where you do want to plug something in because it doesn't have a speaker on it or something, it comes with a 3.5 millimeter audio input output, so a normal jack that your headphones or a line out cable plug into. Comes with Bluetooth 4.0 too, so you don't have to have the device plugged on there. If you actually like the speakers and want to use it for different things but don't want your phone right there, you can use that, and it is powered by USB on there. It has about 4 hours battery life on the lithium-ion battery that it has, and it charges via the USB too. So I actually like this idea of a portable speaker because, again, I don't have to find cables or anything on there. What do you think about it, Isaac?
I think this is the coolest. Honestly, this is the coolest portable speaker I've ever seen. I mean, so just to give you an idea, also it pulls off the time, the battery life, and the song artist idea. You mentioned the song artist idea, but that is really cool that it can grab that information from the phone and put it in a display. I love how they're trying to make everything like multiple different ways you can stream the audio and push it. They have the Bluetooth connection. They want to get the Wi-Fi with a certain goal. It picks up on the electromagnetic from the speakers to reproduce the audio through the speakers. It looks cool. I mean, it's the whole package.
It's a fairly good design too.
Yeah.
It's not just a box, but they tried
the
to make it look good.
design. Yeah.
What's even speaking to the connections on there? If they reach their stretch goal of $150,000, they're going to add Wi-Fi into it. And what Wi-Fi makes it is you're able to stream over your Wi-Fi network. But what's also included in their service that kind of gets a little they don't advertise as much on their site is they have this thing they have a cloud service called Freak Vibe Cloud, and you get 30 days of it. So if you guys ever have used like Amazon or Google's Locker service where you upload your songs onto there, it's the same idea. So once it's on that Locker service, you can either play it through the Freak Vibe or on your phone, no matter where you are. As long as you have an internet connection, you can stream your music wherever you are.
Cool.
That's a little under advertised on there, but I love this idea on for the speaker right here. So
what are the rewards levels here? What are we looking at to get one of these? It looks like there's still the early backers going on, the Freak Vibe for early birds. So there's 129 of 200. So we got about, how many is that? We have like 71 left or something?
yeah, they just barely launched.
Yeah.
So
this is the early bird can get the worm.
Yeah.
Like you can get one of these for $89.
Yeah, and at $89, that's not that bad of a price. If you think about the Jawbone Jambox and similar devices like that use Bluetooth for it, they start at $150 to $200. So this is a lot cheaper, and I think a lot more versatile.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
I agree.
And also, I forgot, if they also reach their stretch goal of $150,000, they're upgrading some of the speakers on there. So the subwoofer is going to go to a 5 watts woofer. That may not sound like a lot, but considering for its size, it's going to pack a little punch on there, Get a little
cool.
on, put it on your desk somewhere. They also have a aluminum edition that can be custom engraved.
That is cool.
I am really tempted to get one and have it engraved with Ktdata.net and KickCast.
That would be awesome. What are you gonna do? What do you say? Are you gonna backtrack or sack it? They have 82 backers. They have $8,000, and they need $90,000. They have 35 days to go.
I say back. If you're looking for a speaker, especially around the size and everything, I think this is a great idea. It uses a unique thing. If anybody can explain to me how this works, I tried to read up on it, and it sort of makes sense. But it just looks cool. I like the idea, and I don't have to worry about having different cables and everything to make sure it works on the device.
I agree. I have a lot of portable speakers, but I would have to say back. I mean, if you're looking for a portable speaker, this is your portable speaker. I mean, it has everything you're looking for. I mean, it'd be really cool if they got those 5 watts and get that subwoofer going. And I mean, they have a great design, really, really creative thinking here. This is what Kickstarter's all about.
Yeah. So, these guys are just trying to make it work. And in a field of speakers, it's really hard to get into because you have those big names like the Jawbones and the Bose that kind of.
It's true. They kind of wash out these smaller guys.
So I like it. You know what else I like, Isaac?
Deliciousness.
Oh, and I like chocolate. Chocolate deliciousness. So tell us a little bit about our next project.
Okay, so here, our next project. Guys got to apologize. My laptop went dead, so we can't mirror.
I wasn't going to mention
web
anything,
pages. Okay, so this next project that we were looking at, last time we did the mayonnaise, or was that the time before that?
The mayonnaise?
Yeah, the mayonnaise.
I think that was our last beta episode.
Yeah, I think it was our last beta episode. So that was beta 4 if you guys want to go back into our archives and look at our cool beta episodes. Anyways, so I thought it would be fun to spot a food project on this podcast, and it's called Sweet Linda's Handcrafted Confections. So this lady is out of Boston, or it's out of Massachusetts, Lowell,
Massachusetts.
Lowell, Massachusetts. And so she has gotten this shop, and she's just opening up this new shop, and she needs some more equipment to help crank out these delicious treats faster. So what she basically does is, her whole theme behind these is she likes to make these s'mores. So she makes these gourmet marshmallows. She has 11 different kinds of flavors of these s'more candy bars. She has the original gourmet vanilla marshmallow. She has honey grams with peanut butter. She has one that mixes with raspberry marshmallow, dark chocolate, peanut butter, shortbread. I mean, you name it. The PB&J, traditional shortbread, peanut butter, raspberry jelly, candy, milk chocolate, and sea salt.
Oh, dude, I'm hungry now.
I know, right?
I'm seriously hungry now just listening to that. And what to make it better? Let's just dunk it all in chocolate.
Seriously.
You know, there's only one thing that she could do better on top of this. And what would you think it would be? Knowing me.
Just more chocolate.
No, add some bacon.
Oh, that is true. We need bacon.
Oh.
Okay, if you're listening, Linda, Sweet Crafted Treats, put bacon in
Please.
your s'mores. Please.
So
this is the deal. I think this is really cool. It's not a store. You're not buying just the s'mores.
you're helping this lady in Lowell, Massachusetts,
Yeah.
fulfill her dream. Like my dream, make a podcast that people actually watch. And so if you guys watching, you're helping me fulfill my dream. So
Yeah.
I want to do my best to help fulfill her dream. Plus, it's chocolate.
Give us s'mores.
Like, seriously, it's chocolate.
So I swear she's got like $500 since I've looked at it this morning. Anyways, 56 backers so far, $4,000, $9,500 goal, 17 days to go. If you want one of those tasty s'mores, for $25, you can get 6 of your choice in a box, or you can just get her gourmet marshmallows that come in different flavors. But if you help out this lady, she'll be able to get her magical machine that helps cover this chocolate s'mores.
I don't know anything about cooking.
I don't either.
I don't know what this machine does, but if it makes deliciousness, I'm all in.
Yeah.
And I also like that even some of her rewards, they're not all, if you're lactose intolerant or can't eat chocolate or something like that, there's other things. She actually has this chef's jacket that looks pretty cool.
That is really cool. Sweet Linda's, you put it on, you eat your
Yes.
s'more, and you take it off.
It just,
So what
Isaac,
are you going to do?
Do I even have to? Do we need to even ask? You guys can probably guess. Both of us are backing this.
Actually, I'm not going to back it, Kevin.
Liar.
Of course I'm going to back
Liar!
it. So $25, I'm going in. It's going to be $8 extra for shipping. I don't really care. I just want the treats, and I want to help the lady. I want to see it in my local store so I can pick them up every day, whatever
To be honest, right after this, I am just going to go check my bank account, find out the maximum amount of money I can give her, and I'm going to give her that. That's my promise to you, Linda. I really want this to happen.
That's intense. Did you get paid today?
I know, this is dangerous.
Maximum amount. That's a lot of chocolate.
Yeah. All right, Isaac. There's something new. We actually got feedback from our first episode, and I'm super excited about this.
Let's talk about it.
So again, if you guys want to if you guys actually want to send us feedback, KickCast at Ktdata.net. Send us there, or check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, Pinterest, all of them. Send us feedback. I'd love to hear from you. And
constructive criticism, please. Just don't make fun
no,
of
I'll
us.
take the hate mail too. I'll take the hate mail. I'll take any kind
Kevin
of mail.
will take it. Just
I'm
be
desperate.
nice to me.
I'm desperate. So this was cool because John Condon, the lead designer of QFO Labs. If you guys are wondering what this is, this is the labs that were making the NanoQ and the Mimics that we talked about in our first episode, that helicopter that had that pretty cool remote control. He actually answered some of the questions that we kind of asked on the last episode. So when you're playing that dogfight game online,
Yeah.
we
We were wondering about the throttle, if it just dropped out of the sky.
Yeah. So in the case if Isaac and I were playing, Isaac probably kicked my butt.
I'd shoot him down.
So what happens is the craft power is actually reduced to 90% thrust to weight ratio, which is not enough for it to stay in the air, but lets you kind of glide, and you can kind of control it so it doesn't run into Isaac or something. I can't kamikaze
Small
into
babies or someone
Yeah.
just little kid with his helicopter just wants to fly the
Ye-
mimics.
This-
Sorry.
This seems to have touched a nerve.
I'm okay.
Okay. And then as for outdoor flying, he says it works really well because of the quadcopter. You can fly in any direction without having to yaw the craft around, which I'm assuming to
Yeah.
spin it.
It's which way it
around.
spins. So it sounds like
Yeah.
it stays pretty stable. I don't know how
Yeah.
much it could move in one direction, but at least the wind doesn't push it around very much, which I was wondering about.
Yeah, and then
I'm interested. I want to test it.
And then he says with the tilt control, you can just lean into the wind, and he's actually personally flown it in 8-mile-per-hour winds, which is,
It's a decent.
well, by the time you get to 10-mile-per-hour winds, why are you outside anyways? It's probably going to rain, or it's, you're going to have crap flying at you on there. So thank you, John, for messaging us back. Like, I really appreciate it. And good luck on the NanoQ and the Mimics. If you guys want to see us talk about it, check episode 1 if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It's a really cool product right there. So I guess that's pretty much our show right there, of course. Again, our email is kickcast@ktdata.net, facebook.com/kickcast. On Twitter, we're at kickcast. Google Plus, just go to plus.kickcast.net. Of course, if you're not watching live, you can watch us live. Normally, we do it on every other Thursday. So our next episode is going to be November 5th, 15th. My mistake, excuse me.
Download the podcast on iTunes.
At live.kickcast.net. And if you see any of these projects and you know these lower thirds are kind of flying by very quickly, just head on over to kickcast.net, and our show notes are there. There are links that take you to these projects and everything. And if you're actually watching or following us on these social networks, we see a lot of projects go through, and just
You can go to our rejected projects
there,
page.
there's a lot of things that were good ideas that just didn't make it, like White Girl Salsa, if you wonder what that is, or
motor blades.
or the U-Doll superhero DIY kit.
Easy Mate.
Um,
I didn't look at that one.
or the Q Nexus Smart Sensor keyboards. There's
Everybody
all that
game.
more. Like there's some projects that we think are cool. It's just we couldn't get a good discussion.
And if you want us to spot a project or you think something's really cool, send us an email or something.
send us an email or
Let us
contact
know.
us on any of our social networks right there.
Yeah.
We'll see it, and we'll put it into actually one of the ones that didn't actually make the cut is called the Playing for Change, and that was actually suggested by our friend Nathan, who watches. So thank you for your suggestion, and it was literally this close to making it on.
That was a cool project.
So Isaac, do you have anything to pimp out right now?
No, my laptop died.
So okay, you can find Isaac at aqualumis.com on there. And
Oh, yes, my lower thirds there.
Yes, it doesn't say just put stuff here.
Put stuff here.
And then of course you can find me on the interwebs as at Ktdata or at ktdata.net. That's where everything I put up there. Lots of movie reviews coming up. I saw a lot of movies this week. So Isaac, as
Always a pleasure.
It's always fun to do this. I always feel like time's going by quick. We're probably running a little long, so I apologize for that, guys. And we will see you all in 2 weeks.
See ya. November 5th. 15.
One last check. Look into the camera. Seduce the camera. Seduce it. Seduce it. Look gently into the camera. Let the view. You're looking at the wrong camera. Look into it. Those luxurious eyes.
Oh my.
Now look at us and look back and look at us and look back.
Now
Do
look
not
back
want
at
this
us.
man in your world. But then you look at us and you're like, no, I want this. Ah! I should have built this.
Look back at me. Now look back at the camera. Now look back at the pocket. Back at Kickstarter. Now go to the project.
Look at the project. Look at Isaac. Look at the project. Look at Isaac.
Look at Isaac's project. Wait, Isaac doesn't
What?
have a project. Where's the project?
What? Subliminal advertising.
This is good to do it on Fridays because then we don't have to think about work. Except
I'm thinking about
I'm not thinking about work.
This is the look of a man who thinks about work all the time.
This is a person who doesn't think about work. person who thinks about work.
And then what happens when you put the yin and the yang together? You get this. The KickCast.